set your heart on Him and His promises? Are you in love with God? If you will begin to do that, you will be amazed at what God can do in your life.
Hello, I'm Dr. Angela Harden Mack, and I am thrilled to be here today. This is a great day to break through unbelief. I am so thrilled and passionate about my purpose and my assignment to serve professional women. I am a women's empowerment coach, manifestation expert, and a founder, the founder, and CEO of Live Great Lives Women's Empowerment Coaching. We serve professional women experiencing work-life conflict, and we help them to discover solutions so that they can live great lives without sacrificing family, freedom, and wellness. Important. Women all over the world experience and face inequalities, obstacles, struggles of different sorts, and in different parts and facets of society. And at Live Great Lives, we focus on those challenges and inequalities and disparities related to the workplace. When there's work-life conflict that has yet to be minimized or resolved, life can feel like it's good or okay, but not great. And why would someone want to settle for good or okay when there's great? When work-life conflict has not been minimized or resolved, wellness can be impacted because the conflicts can result in pressures and strains and overload. And these impact health, physical health, mental health, emotional health, and spiritual health. Wellness. And when wellness is impacted, there can be this feeling of imbalance and causing you to feel like things are not centered. That's not great. That's okay. And that can't always be sustainable without impact. Life, the quality of life. When conflicts have not been minimized or resolved, there can be this feeling of urgency, like there has to be a choice, there has to be a sacrifice. And for professional women, it has to be family or career, job, and business. It can't be both. It can't be fulfilling personal life and fulfilling professional life. It has to be either or. These sacrifices, these choices. And when a woman is facing challenges in health or challenges in living okay or good instead of great, or these sacrifices, it's not easy to remain in faith. It's not easy to remain sure-footed and steadfast. It's not always easy to break through unbelief. As a matter of fact, it can be very difficult to break through unbelief. And so I say to the beautiful women, I say to those I'm called to serve, to professional women, if you're going to show up to live your great life without making sacrifices, sacrificing those things that are important to you, family, freedom, and wellness, because these are part of purpose for many women. You have to be equipped so that you can break through unbelief. At Live Great Lives, we have a 5-step formula to live a great life. Now, I want to tell you what the 5 steps are, but focus on the step that is about breaking and breaking through. The 5 steps are be, see, break, act, and connect. Be intentional. Be who you were created to be. Be intentional. Not an afterthought, not accident, but deliberate and planned. 2 is see, S-E-E. See your big picture, your vision, your compelling vision. We all need it, have it in order to live a great life. 3 is break, B-R-E-A-K. You have to break through chains and break through limitations and break through barriers in order to live your purpose and to manifest your great life. for us to act. We can't just say and think without putting things into action. So our words, our beliefs have to be followed by action. And then there's connect. We were not created. We are not meant to live alone and in solitary existence. We are meant to live in community, in fellowship. So we have to connect. So, to live a great life, to live purpose, today I want to talk about breaking through unbelief, break through unbelief. Women who are working, women who are building careers and jobs and businesses and families, it's possible and probable that there are times of feeling overextended and overloaded. We're so giving, we're so affectionate. We want to sometimes please everybody and be there for everyone, that we can add something else and something else and something else and something else on our plates. And then we have multiple plates and they're juggling. And then we're overextended. And then we feel overloaded and overwhelmed, and we're carrying too much and so much that we were not meant to carry. Well, is it really easy to break through unbelief and to show up to be clear and to have energy if we're juggling so much and carrying things that are so heavy? Probably not. So we're going to break through unbelief. We have to take some of these things off of our plates. We have to put some of these plates down, because we have to be able to show up for us and show up and play to win, and show up to be clear and to be healthy and to be well. So we have to make some changes. We have to lighten that load. We have to do these things so that we can break through belief. We were created for a purpose, each and every one of us. We were created for greatness, to do great works and to live a great life. We are, I am, you are, we are all beautifully and wonderfully made in the image of the Creator, in His image, by His hands, for His glory, His workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, planned in advance for us to do. And we are told, the Bible tells us, to be confident that the good work started in us will be completed. The Bible tells us that the works of our hands, things prosper. We are operating according to our genius and our gifts and our anointing, that again, the works of our hands bless. We bless the earth. We bless the world. We bless those we are called to serve. Our trees bear good fruit. Our crops bear good fruit. Our vines bear good fruit. The works of our hands, when we are operating according to purpose and living a great life, and the great goodness that we have, because our desires are satisfied with good things. We're glorifying God, the Creator. We're blessing the earth, the world, those we're called to serve, and our desires are satisfied with good things. How great is the goodness? Oh, how great is the goodness in store for them. No good thing is withheld from those who walk upright before Him. Every good and perfect gift is from the Father. He satisfies our desires with good things so that the youth is renewed like the eagles. Oh, the great goodness, the great life that we have available, the purpose that we're living, yes, available to all of us. Why settle for okay? Why settle for good when you can have great, when you were created for greatness? You have to be able to break through unbelief to remain steadfast, unmovable, and unshakable, abounding in your work to experience your great life. Well, how do we know that it is important to break through unbelief and important to remain steadfast, unmovable, and unshakable? Because there is another side to the story. Yes, right now you're probably celebrating. I hope you are. You may even be lifting a hand or holding hands. You may be giving a praise. You may be doing a shout, because you know that you were created for greatness. You know that the Father created you with intention. You were not by accident. You were not an afterthought. He thought about every detail of your life, everything about you. He knows you're rising and you're setting. He knows you're coming and you're going. He knows your mind and your heart. He knows every detail of your life. You are the apple of His eye. Your name is written in the palm of your hand. He goes before you. The angel of the Lord encamps around you. His glory is your rear guard. Goodness and mercy follow you all the days of your life. Are you hearing what I'm saying? This is the story for us, and especially when we are walking it out and living by faith and living the great life. Yes, we celebrate. And yes, we give Him glory and honor. But there's another part to the story. Yes, that's the glory, but what about the other side? What about the testing? What about those things that call for us to break through unbelief? Oh, yeah, because we all will have those, and we want to be able to remain steadfast, unmovable, and unshakable. Well, the story of Joseph is one of my favorite characters, and his story is so empowering because we know that Joseph was an individual that he had to break through probably unbelief so that he could remain steadfast, unmovable, and unshakable. Psalm 105:19 says that until the time it came to be the word of the Lord pertaining to Joseph, the word that he received tested him. If Joseph had major testing, oh, you know that we are. If you didn't know it before now, I'm telling you now. And if you haven't had a test, oh, it's coming. I want you to be able to break through unbelief so that you can walk it out and you can make it through the other side. Joseph, his story found in the book of Genesis, chapters 37 through 50, his story, we read, his story spans decades. Joseph, his purpose was that of a deliverer. Joseph brought about the deliverance not only of his people, his family, and the region, but he was promoted to a place of leadership, second in command. And from that position, he delivered the people. Now, his story begins what we read when he was 17 years old, and he received two dreams. The dream first showed him again as a leader. He told his brothers the dream where his sheep was taller than theirs. They didn't like it. They didn't receive that. And they were angry and envious. The second dream, again, when we interpret it, I believe this shows us Joseph's position as the deliverer. And this one included sun and the moon and stars. And his father recognized and said, what do you mean that we're going to bow down to you? The father didn't receive it well, but he gave pause and thought about it. Now, Joseph revealed to his family his dreams, the leadership and the deliverer. The family didn't take it well. And a series of events that lasted decades started. Joseph was 17 when the dreams were received and he revealed them to his family. And when he was 30, that's right, 30, he was promoted to the leadership position. Now, a number of things took place. You got to read the story. A number of things took place before his promotion. A number of years. Joseph, I imagine, had to break through unbelief in order to remain steadfast during the time of waiting when years, more than a decade, took place. The purpose was revealed, the promotion to leadership. Joseph had years of waiting. I have, and you probably have too. How about you? How many of you have had times of waiting? Maybe you're waiting right now. Joseph, age 30, promoted to the position second in command. God gave him the interpretations for the dreams for Pharaoh. God gave Joseph the strategy in order to prepare the region to acquire resources so that the region, the people would make it through the famine. 7 years of good, 7 years of plenty, resources were gathered. Joseph, second in command. 2 years into the famine, the brothers leave their land with money, go to Egypt to get food. Now, Joseph is adorned according to the customs of the people in Egypt. So when his brothers presented themselves to Joseph, they were presented to Joseph. They didn't recognize Joseph, but Joseph recognized them immediately. A series of things took place. Some transactions took place before the brothers were sent away with the food. Guess what took place? The brothers bowed down more than once, bowed to Joseph more than once before they went back home. That sounds like that first dream manifesting, right? Now, they didn't know it at the time, but Joseph knew. Some time passed, not a couple days, not a couple months, but some time passed. And so the brothers returned in the father. And through a revelation, the family was made aware that this was Joseph. Remember the brother that they put the head out on more than a decade ago. And after some transaction, again, they bowed down to Joseph a couple more times. The family was brought up from their place where they lived outside of Egypt to live in Egypt. 2 years into the famine, Joseph position of leadership, Joseph, deliverer, because of the divine strategy he received and put into place. Joseph, with his family, revealed to them and told them, you didn't send me here, but God brought me here. They had the evil plan, the ill will, and started that plan in motion. But God ordered the steps. God directed the path. God stayed the hand of people involved with Joseph until the promotion of Joseph to second in command. God is in control of everything. And God ordered the steps and again stayed the hand, protected the hand. There were things that could not be done to Joseph because God's hand was upon him. And as a matter of fact, when we read about those places Joseph served, it said the Lord was with him. God's favor was with him. The places that Joseph worked were blessed because Joseph was there. So although those assignments, those leading up to the promotion didn't look like the promotion, God was with Joseph. After the famine, before I tell you after the famine, let me tell you a little bit more about what took place during the time. So when the famine started, people still had money. They had their things, so they went to Egypt and gave money to get food. The Bible tells us that when the money ran out, then they went to Joseph, second in command, and they said, here's our livestock. So they gave the livestock. When the livestock ran out, they went to Joseph, second in command, and said, here, we give you our land and we give you ourselves. So during the years of the famine, the treasuries of Egypt growing, expanding, getting bigger and bigger. First filled with money, then filled with livestock, then with land. And the people said, hey, we give you, again, us. So they gave themselves to work the land. So the treasury grows and expands. And so part of that divine strategy was also that the people gave themselves, they worked the land, and a portion of the produce, the crops, had to be returned to the storehouses of Egypt. And the people were able to keep some of that, of what they produced. So the 7 years of the famine ends, and then they enter into that season, that time after that. And this was a land, or I should say a time of abundance. When we read about the father of Joseph, we know that a total of 17 years he lived before he died, before he went to be with his father. So he lived during the time of the famine and then a number of years after that. When the father dies and they bury him, right? So the brothers then become afraid, right? They're like, oh my gosh, they were afraid. Can you imagine? Because while the father was alive, they experienced the goodness and the grace and the mercy of Joseph. But I think it was rightfully so that they began to say, yes, like now that father is gone, now that daddy is gone, what's going to happen? What's going to happen to us? Will Joseph then, get revenge? Will Joseph punish us for what we did? But he assured them and he said, no. He said, what you meant for evil towards me, God worked it out for good. God brought it around because I was sent before you to this place to deliver you. That's the purpose. Remember, I told you the full manifestation, the part of that purpose, that deliverer, that deliverance, Joseph revealed to them years ago when he said, you think you sent me here, but you didn't. God did. And then when the father dies, and Joseph tells them again, right? Because see, when he told them the first time, they were in the midst of the famine, but now they're years out from the famine. He said, no, what you meant for evil, God turned it around for good and brought me here to deliver. Oh, is that reason to celebrate? Is that reason to give God glory and honor? Because the purpose for which Joseph was created was fully made manifest, and his brothers saw it. Sounds like us, right? Sounds like when we get that purpose that we have times of waiting, and more than likely more than one waiting time, and more than a year. Sounds like when Joseph was in the pit, in Potiphar's house, in the prison, right? Where those places, those spaces, those assignments didn't appear to be related to his leadership role, didn't appear to be related to his purpose. Is it possible? Imagine with me, if you will, that Joseph may have looked around and said, how is this? How is right now related to my purpose? Perhaps some of you are right now saying the same thing. What does this have to do at all with what I'm called to do? Joseph in the pit may have been cold, dark, probably lonely. Joseph as a slave in that place where the slaves were positioned for people to go by and pick. What were some of the things Joseph may have been thinking? Joseph, when his boss's wife wrongfully accused him and caused him to be punished, Joseph's world turned upside down. He was favored, and now he was no longer favored. A storm in life for Joseph. What was Joseph thinking? Was that a scenario or times when Joseph had to break through unbelief? It's not easy to remain steadfast, unmovable, and unshakable, to break through belief when you're overextended, overloaded, overwhelmed. When your mind, your thoughts are not clearly on what you've been called to do, when your mind cannot always be clear and focused to say, I'm walking this out by faith, I'm living this out by faith. It's not what I see, but it's what God said. I will believe his report. It's not easy to break through faith when you have lots of conflicts that haven't been minimized, that haven't been resolved, when you're feeling like you have to sacrifice, when your health has been impacted. So I say to you, beautiful, amazing, professional woman, you who are experiencing some life conflicts, this is your day. This is your time, your season. And I extend to you an invitation that can help you, a gift available for you to help you remove and relieve that being overextended and overloaded, so that you can be in a position where you can break through unbelief, so that you can remain steadfast, unmovable, unshakable, walk out your purpose and live your great life. This gift for you. Available at livegreatlivesgift.com. It's yours. I encourage you. Grab it, get it, so that you can begin to relieve your burden, being overloaded. And the second invitation I have for you is to join us. I'm leading individuals in a wellness challenge. Come on and join us. Go to the Facebook group, Angela Speaks Great Living. Join us as we focus on our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health, because we want to, again, if we've been off center, we want to get right. If we've been imbalanced, we want to rebalance so that we can have wellness, optimize wellness, because again, we want to break through unbelief to live great and walk out purpose. So the free gift, livegreatlivesgift.com, the challenge, the wellness challenge, Angela Speaks Great Living. Come on, you don't have to make a decision either or, it's both. I welcome you to come. Come. Yes, come and join us. Sometimes we know what we need, but we don't know exactly how to do it. We don't know where to go. I can be your coach. I can be that individual to lock arms with you. I have the gifts, the techniques, the formula. I have the solutions for you. So I'm here and ready to lock arms with you, to show you the way to go. Sometimes we need to be recharged, and we need to be rebooted. We need to connect with people who can understand. Been there, done that, have a t-shirt. So I can tell you about that too. Again, come join me, come join other women. But we are living faith out loud, and we are living great and walking our purpose. Imagine, if you will, how you will feel when you are steadfast, unmovable, unshakable, clear, work-life conflicts resolved, so that you can break through unbelief, so that you can remain and live your great life and walk your purpose. Imagine. I can smile. Your load is lighter, and I can see you many times when that load is heavy. We're like this and hunched over, and we have scars because we have so much pressure here. But just like a flower blooms, when that load is light, you can see people, and I can imagine you straightening up. I can imagine your shoulders relaxed. Keeping taller, your head held high. And I can imagine you smiling, and I can imagine you showing up with power and confidence. I believe in you. And I have confidence in you, and I can see you. So if you're ready today, Invitation Facebook page. Come on, we're ready. I'm ready to help you to break through unbelief, break through and get through to the other side so you can show up to live your great life. You can show up in your glory and your power to live your great life, to live your faith out loud, and to walk out your purpose. I'm Dr. Angela Harden Mack, the coach for you. Let's go so we can break through unbelief and get to your other side.